Who's ready for an adventure? I woke up this morning to a crow causing quite the commotion. It was staying in the same area, and there's still a couple more days left in small game season, so I got out with my rifle hoping to have some crow for dinner. It was perched up in this big pine tree behind me there. I wasn't able to get a clear shot, and then all of a sudden a bald eagle took off out of the tree, and the crow chased after it. I took a shot at the crow but didn't hit it, but yeah, it turns out that's what the commotion was all about, and I've seen that a few times while I've been out here. Crows giving bald eagles a hard time, so it was unfortunate that I didn't get any food for it, but an interesting way to start the day nonetheless. Making a bit of an expedition to the north end of the lake today. So I'm going to be bringing my fishing gear, which includes those bait mussels, camera, my gun, my day pack. I've made this trip before, but each time I do I seem to get heat exhaustion, so I'm going to see if I can do it right this time. I've got 2 liters of water. I'm planning on taking a reasonable sized lunch break. I'm bringing a lunch of cattail shoots, bulrush shoots, and some rhizomes. And I'm planning, according to the wind, so we've got a slight north breeze right now. If it does intensify, I'm hoping that it stays north so that I have an easy wind with me on my way back. Anyways, first things first, we're going to head over to take Roy for a walk, and then we'll be off on our way, see if we can get some food for the day. And off we go. Nice, calm, sunny morning so far. Hopefully it stays nice. Nice paddling around here on a calm sunny day like this. I'm able to see into the water and get a feel for the bottom structure, weed cover, all that sort of thing. Get a feel for the area and where fish might be. Just doing a little bit of sight fishing for perch, dropping over the side in shallow water. There's the first fish of the day. The big cow. And off she goes. Now, as I'm watching for birds and rabbits, I'm also going to be keeping my eyes open for any more of those delicious orange bolete mushrooms that I found yesterday. Basically out for anything I can find to eat. If I can get food here, then there's no sense making the big trip to the other end of the lake. Save myself some time and energy. I just finished my walk with Roy, aka my attempted hunting. Unsuccessful. No mushrooms, no birds, no. Saw a red squirrel, but I'm not going to shoot that. They're under the fur bearer's license, so I need a trapping license to do that, and I don't have one for this area. Anyways, I got back to my canoe and I saw just a school of small perch, so I put a piece of freshwater mussel on a small hook and caught some there, mostly pretty tiny, one decent size. But yeah, it just made me reconsider my strategy for today. It's already almost midday. In order to, ooh, there's a bass. In order to get down to the north end of the lake, I'd have to put in a considerable paddle, and then I would do whatever I do there in the heat of the day, and then paddle back. So far, the wind's still pretty calm, but there's no promise that that's going to stay the same. So that'd be expending a good bit of energy, and at the worst time of the day. Call this learning from my previous mistakes. I'm going to scrap that plan. When I've done that in the past, I've regretted it. I've had heat exhaustion from that. So instead, I'm just going to hang around here, try to catch some, well, ideally a little bigger fish, but I have, like, small fish are still fish. I've been doing a form of fishing that I haven't done in years, which is, let me just grab my hook here. Small hook, piece of bait, I don't care. Well, I say I don't care. I prefer a big pike or a walleye, but I don't care what species it is. I don't care how big it is. I'm just trying to catch something, because you get enough small fish and that's a decent meal. So I've got to start there. I'm just going to hang around this area, and that way if the weather turns, or if I find myself getting thirsty or tired or hot, I can just head right back to camp. So not the exciting choice, but I definitely think it's the wise choice. Just a quick note on survival situations. That's also something important to know. You don't, like, it's all about energy in versus energy out. You don't need to expend a ton of energy, especially if you know that you can get some energy in near camp. So you would stay around your base camp. You would put in the effort to get some protein or some other food sources. The bay at the north end of the lake, it looks like it could be quite good for bass, pike, walleye. And I had a big pike get off there a week ago or so, maybe a little more than that now. But with the amount of energy that I expend getting there, I would need to catch a good bit of fish or whatever other animal protein in order to make up for that energy expended. Here, I don't need, like, it's a very short paddle. My island's just right over there. And I haven't explored this whole area yet, so I don't need to bring in a whole lot of protein in order to make this a worthwhile venture, whereas if I went down there, I would. Something hunting over here. Scaring the crap out of these minnows. So I'm going to try casting around here. This looks like a nice area, actually. 6 to 8 feet, vegetation. There you go, things you learn when you stay at home. Minnows have been running from, swimming from. And I got it. Nice. There we go. Not a bad fish. Certainly better than the perch that I've got. Oh, it's got a lot of fight in it. Best for both of us. Mostly for me and Roy. You are not part of the both of us equation. There we go. Not a bad fish. Now that is a different eagle from this morning. One this morning was a juvenile. Got a couple nice perch in this flat and vegetated area, and this one has clearly been almost on the menu for something, presumably a pike, maybe a big walleye. See bite marks here, here, here. So I think I may have found my new favorite fishing spot. This area seems to have a lot of potential. Even though there are more fish to be caught, I think it might be time to head in. It's now the heat of the day, and I notice Roy's been panting quite a bit. So more for his sake than for mine, it's going to be time for lunch and take some action on these fish. Alright, let's go in. So looking back on the decision to stay around here rather than travel to the north end of the lake, I definitely made the right decision. I'm able to rest now during the heat of the day. I was able to expend minimal energy while bringing in a good bit of protein. And I discovered a new fishing spot right on my doorstep that I had no idea existed until now. So made the smart choice, learned from my mistakes, and yeah, I'm quite happy with the decision, all in all. So I've separated my day's catch into a few different piles. These are the lunch perch, the little ones. I'll fry those up over the fire. Then we've got the dinner perch. Might save one of those for tomorrow, and then the pike is going to be definitely saved long term. I might see if I can get a smoking rig set up. And then there is the worst case scenario if I don't manage to catch any fish for the next month. Fresh lunch perch. First time this trip. These are tiny little fish. They will not take long to cook. Beautiful weather, successful fishing. Seen a moose and 2 eagles so far today. This is one of those days where this is not work. This is just living the dream. So my lunch is ready now. whitetail shoots and rhizomes as well. Nice beautiful day. That's what it's all about. Now that I'm starting to get settled in, I can start to get a little bit creative with the things that I do and worry less about the basic necessities of survival. One thing that I've been wanting to do is try smoking fish, and this is something I've never tried before. This is something also that would provide another level of stability. It would give me some reliable long-term protein that I wouldn't have to cook. It would be ready to go no matter when I needed it. So in order to do this, I need to first cut down 3 green trees. Now normally I don't advocate cutting down living trees. You want to leave the living wood standing and just cut down the dead stuff for firewood. But these ones need to be green, otherwise they will burn when they're over the fire. So just because you're cutting down living trees doesn't mean you just want to cut them down at random. Choose them carefully. So if they're a tree that provides shade, leave it there. If it's a windbreak or if it's a structural tree in the site, generally speaking, just leave it there. So for this I'm going to walk away from Camp of Fairways and try to find some good candidate trees. Now I've never done this before, but I see cedar as being a good option. I think I see one here. I'm going to use the about 9 feet, about 9 straight feet of trunk. I'm not sure if that's the right amount, but I can always shorten it if necessary. You can't lengthen it obviously once it's been cut. So this one looks pretty good here. Got at least 9 straight feet there. I'm also using cedar because the wood that I cut down and do not use for the tripod, I'm going to chop up and burn that on the fire to produce the smoke. Now, like I said, I'm not familiar with this, but I feel like cedar probably would not be a bad choice for smoking. You don't want to have something that's going to taste bad. So anyways, this is our candidate tree here. And there we go, there's one. May as well take the stump too and burn it. No sense wasting. Now this is the stump of one that I cut down yesterday in preparation for this task. I chose this one because the dimensions were right, and also it's growing on a rock with very little soil cover. So I did not see that one growing up to be a thriving, successful tree decades from now. I saw that falling over and dying once it got too large. So that was an easy choice for me. I'll take this stump as well, and that'll be part of the smoking wood. And I think this one is going to be tree number 3. Again, it's got a nice, fairly straight trunk for at least 9 feet. It's also growing on an angle here and in thin soil cover, so I don't see that holding up, withstanding the test of time. So I'm going to take this one down, and that'll be 3 trees for my tripod. And that is full of ants. Well, take it off here and see if that's any better. I'll probably bring that one back to burn, but it's full of ants. They've been eating it out from the inside. And I just don't see that. Oh, there's got one on the lens there. I just don't see that being a very sturdy choice for the tripod. So this will be tree number 3. now cut these 3 green cedar poles to the same length. The next step will be to lash them together at the top. But that's going to be a step that's going to wait probably until tomorrow. Unsurprisingly, I find that I have a whole lot less energy than I normally do, just generally speaking. That the action of gathering those trees for the tripod, cutting them down, dragging them through the bush, it really took it out of me. And I generally find that this time of day, mid to late afternoon, I get a real tired spell. And if I were back in the city or at home or anywhere that had the facilities, I would probably make myself a coffee if I had to keep working, but I don't have that option here, so I just need to kind of restrict how much I do, plan accordingly. So I'm gonna hold off on the tripod for now. I'll work on that in the evening when things are a little cooler. Right now the wind has switched. It was coming from the north, now it's coming from the south. I think I'm probably gonna go to a little island that I use to clean my fish, clean the 3 perch that I caught today, the big ones, and yeah, do that now just in case the wind picks up, and then I don't want to have to be fighting the wind and the waves, because that's always exhausting and just an afternoon ruiner, really. From the way he's breathing, I would guess that he's overheating. Yeah, you should probably lay in the shade then, buddy. This is his way of saying, I don't want to be on camera. I've covered the fish up with reeds to keep the flies from getting at them. Now I'm going to go lie down, because quite frankly I'm exhausted. I'm sure it's some form of malnutrition, maybe dehydration a little bit. Didn't think I taxed myself too hard today, but I'm really tired. And every time I stand up I get really lightheaded. IOH for those physiologists out there. But yeah, I'm gonna lie down for half an hour, get some water in me, come back and make some dinner, and hopefully I'm feeling a bit better, because like I said, I'm exhausted right now. So I've now risen from my attempted nap. I didn't end up sleeping at all. I do feel more energized now though, which is good. So at this point I'm just going to make myself some tea and get some food in me. So I'm going to start cooking those fish once I get a boil here, and all will be well. So I'm at the end of week 2. I believe at the end of week 1 I did a what I miss, what I don't miss. Things that I miss include still convenient and high calorie foods. So I'm just thinking, when I get back at the end of a trip and I'm feeling tired, to grab a handful of cashews or something like that would go a long way to tiding me over. Of course I don't have that though. Coffee would be nice in the morning. Starting to miss people. Friends and family. I can tell that because for some reason today I've been looking forward to Christmas, which is not exactly around the corner. The earworms that I've had have been Christmas carols. So yeah, I want to see people. That's all there is to it. What else do I miss? A mattress. Sleeping on the ground with a thin balsam fir mattress is it's better than nothing, but it's a far cry from a regular mattress. Yeah. Things I don't miss. Being inside all day. Or most of the day. Driving. social media. Yeah, nothing really crazy pops to mind. I miss having cookies with tea. That would be nice. Some orange pico tea with milk and some chocolate chip cookies. But I can't waste my energy thinking about these things because it's not going to happen. So instead I have not yet decided what kind of tea I'm going to have today. I'm thinking maybe a cedar tea just because it's easy and readily available. And I want to save a few for later. I can't use all my new teas in the first 2 weeks. That would just be ridiculous. We're getting close to boiling here. I can hear it. Someone's having a hard day. Did I wake you? As you were, soldier. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Bum 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 bum. Anyone care for a spot of tea? It's hot. And now we play the waiting game. So got my tea, got my perch. I'm a happy camper. And that is perfectly done. Nice and juicy. Nice not to have to deal with the Y bones like you do with a pike. You want some skin? Sit. Why don't you lie down? Good. Show me your tummy. Come on, show me your tummy. Now roll over. No, not into the fire. Don't. I know, it's very frustrating. Roll over. Not that way. That's into the fire. Roll over. Yes, good boy. Sit. There you go. Roy didn't consent to all this, so I feel the need to reward him once in a while for putting up with my nonsense. He had no idea what we were getting into. When we got in the car, were we going to the cottage? Were we going just around the block? Were we going in the bush for 2 months? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Life's just a big adventure, isn't it? Keeping you on your toes. I ate the last of my greens today. the cattail shoots that I gathered when I got the rhizomes, as well as the bulrushes that I got yesterday or the day before. So either tonight or tomorrow I'm going to need to gather some more. A little dirty, it's still good, it's still good. A few pine needles never hurt anyone. A few dog hairs never hurt anyone. It's a beautiful evening tonight. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it's the first day of summer. A beautiful late spring evening. The insects are definitely less than they were a couple weeks ago, or even last week, or even a few days ago. Temperature is up. Sun is out. Every day was like this, life would be perfect. Hey Roy? Hey buddy? He knows what I'm talking about. He's a happy dog. He's a good boy. Come on, let's go, buddy. Mayflies have hatched. And they are just coming down to land on the water. Hard to convince fish to bite at a time like this. With so much free food available. One of the things that I wanted to do is make a note on dealing with the biting insects, black flies and mosquitoes namely. That was one of the major challenges in the first few days. They were quite thick. They're still definitely out, but they seem to have thinned a bit, and I'm getting a better feel for how to deal with them. So the The first thing would be if there's a windy area, go there. The wind will blow them away. You can stand in smoke, although I find wind to be more effective. Obviously, if you were to have a fire in a windy area, sit in the smoke, even better. One thing is, at times like these, it's sun is just set. I could go to bed right now. I'm tired enough for it for sure, but I'm not going to, because now is when the mosquitoes are out, and if I were to go into my shelter, then they would follow me there, and they would stay there all night. I have to wait until after dusk when the mosquitoes dissipate a little bit, and then I go into my shelter, and at that point they won't follow me in. That's a major mistake that I made in the first couple nights. I also had a very low shelter, so that trapped them in. You have to build the shelter according to your needs. So a higher shelter that catches the breeze, as long as it's not too windy, is a good bet for making sure that the insects aren't too bad. And now I just make a point, no matter how tired I am, I don't go into my shelter until after the bugs have thinned quite a bit. Otherwise, I get to hang out with them all night long. Well, I have to say today was all around a great day. Lots of nature sightings. Saw a couple bald eagles, a moose, fish feeding at the surface. The mayflies had just hatched and they were everywhere, and that's what the fish were eating. I made the wise choice not to venture to the north end of the lake. I decided to stay around here, and as a result I discovered a new fishing area and had quite a bit of success. So I had perch for lunch, perch for dinner, I'll have perch for breakfast tomorrow, and then pike for dinner tomorrow. So very successful day, and beautiful weather as well. Couldn't have asked for a better day.